Navigating through the energies of New Earth is not an easy process and can become extremely overwhelming at times. As we all ascend into higher frequencies, we're all being guided to embrace our own unique divine pathway, a pathway created in the vibration of love. Join Vibe Nation radio host, international psychic medium Carrie Turcotte, as she guides her listeners to rediscover themselves by accessing the keys of knowledge that already exist within. Each week's show is divinely orchestrated to intertwine with the universal energies, allowing the listeners to go deeper within and understand the message being shared even greater. When you live in the frequency of love, there is no competition, so Carrie will be joined regularly by fellow soul family members who will bring forth wisdom and knowledge she knows should be shared on a global level. At the end of each show, Carrie will tap into the energies of the listeners to see what message Spirit wants to share with all those listening in for the upcoming week. If you really want to get to know who you truly are, come and join us now on Vibe Nation Radio, here on the IOM Radio Network.
And welcome to Vibe Nation Radio on this beautiful Monday afternoon. I know for those in North America, we are celebrating Labor Day. So happy Labor Day to all of those listening in. Last long weekend of the summer. And there is a lot going on in the energies this month. So I thought, who best but to bring back my dear soul sister, Marla Kelly, who is an intuitive astrologer. She is international, and she also has a website called Twinstrology. So please join me welcoming Marla back once again. Thank you for joining me today, Marla. I really appreciate it, my dear.
Hello, Carrie. Well, I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's I think we make a great team, and we're on the same channel, so there's a lot of us to share with those that are listening in today. And today we're specifically going to be talking about energies and helping twin flames navigate through September, because the energies that the twins are dealing with right now are similar but also very different than the collective. And I know that I've been channeling that September is a month of us soul remembering. So it's a month of remembering. And it's also a month where the universe is going to be working with us to give us reality slaps, kicks, punches, to say, what are you refusing to see? And it's almost like the soul is going to be kicked to open up the soul memories that are within. So we're in for a pretty crazy month. And I thought, you know what, Marla, who knows better about this than you? So.
Well, I hope you know something about this.
Yes, the Cosmo Queen you are.
We just had an eclipse a few days ago on the 1st of September, and that one was a real doozy.
Yes.
Right? So the energy's been a little bit difficult since then.
Yes, heavy. I find it's very heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm feeling a lot of anxiety and things these days. So
yes,
maybe I'm picking up on collective stuff or...
Yes, I think all of the above, just because of, when you look at Gaia and what's taking place on Gaia right now on a global level, energetic-wise, there are a lot of lower vibrations. So anxiety would be there because that's the fear of the future, and a lot of people are fearing the future right now. They're not embracing the moment and embracing the unknown.
Yeah. And, that doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. So we have to get used to
yes,
dealing with transmuting their energies.
Yes. Get out the Hoovers, people. We're in for a heck of a month.
So what do you want to talk about first, Carrie? I was thinking maybe we talk a bit about 999.
Sure, let's do that, my dear. You start and take the way.
So I've been noticing a lot of things on the internet, as other people probably have, about the 999 gateway.
Mm-hmm.
And, I see some really good things happening around the energy of that day. I'm not sure it's going to be the day to end all days.
Yes. It's not reunion day.
Yeah, as you were saying in the Vibe report, 9 is the number of completion.
Yes.
And so now we have 3 9s.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that tell you but that we're completing a bunch of things on that day?
And you got to love it, because when you say things 3 times, when you say thank you, thank you, thank you, it becomes a vibration. So now we're saying completion, 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 and we can let it go. How beautiful is that? Embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have going on that day that I see that's very positive. First of all, we're going to have Jupiter going into the sign of Libra. And I'm going to talk more about that transit later on. So I'm not going to really touch upon that.
Mm-hmm.
We have asteroid union, which I've talked about a lot in regards to twin flames. And I usually use that to represent actual twin flame unions. It's conjunct Saturn that day. They're both going to be at 10 degrees. And this is like their last conjunction, and now they're going to separate.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be squaring Neptune. This is actually the last Saturn-Neptune square. It's going to be officially exact on the 10th, but they're going to be very close, within minutes, on September 9th. So I've been talking about the Saturn-Neptune square and connecting with union for so long. I think the whole year, really, everyone should be familiar with that.
Yes.
And I did a whole video on how the Saturn and Mars retrogrades were helping you with this Neptune aspect build the foundation of your union. And then we just had the sun and the moon conjunct at that solar eclipse, creating a T-square with those planets. And that really, I think, was like the final step for that transit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just pushed in a lot of really beautiful, positive energy. And so now the question is, what have you built, guys? Is your foundation solid? Is the dream that you've been wanting to manifest, is it going to come into reality?
Yes. Is it realistic?
Yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be realistic as long as you're really determined.
Well, if they want it, I'm thinking more of that, if they feel that it's actually going to happen right then and there, that they, again, be realistic about time frames, my friends, that this is energy work and that it's right here for us to do it. But if it comes and goes, don't put yourself in a head spin.
True. So especially if you're thinking about if what you've been trying to manifest was your twin flame union.
Yes.
Which makes sense because union was there, but
yes.
it could refer to other things.
Yes.
If that's what you were trying to manifest, don't necessarily expect it to show up
yes.
that day, like you're mentioning.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that it's not in the works.
In the works, absolutely.
Down the pipeline.
Yes. And I think that's why the channel has been so strong about living life like a sunset, because you have no expectations, you have no disappointments. So the vibrations you're actually working on to manifest become stronger because you're living in the moment more. So it actually allows the universe to work with you stronger.
Yeah, when you're living in the moment and you don't have expectations,
yes,
your vibration stays on an even keel.
Yes.
Which is really what is needed. If your vibration is going up and down and all over the place, the universe has no idea what to bring you.
Yes.
Because 1 minute you're believing in your dream, the next minute you're not believing in your dream. 1 minute you want to let it go, the next minute you can't live without it. The universe is just scratching its head like, I don't know what this person wants.
I'm not really sure what they're vibing.
It is interesting, though, that the date, the 10th, that Saturn and Neptune have their final exact square in numerology is no longer a 9 but a 1 and a new beginning.
Yes.
So I think that says a lot about the energy.
Yes, and I have this as like a great release and to embrace all that's taking place, because it's like you're going to just feel the energy shift through and you're just going to want to just breathe it in, feeling that prana and knowing that this is bringing balance between you and your beloved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is about, again, I'm getting very strongly, and you know this through the Vibe Report, that the importance of taking back your power, remembering that you and your beloved are always one, but by taking your power, you're actually helping the both of you.
Right.
So, I think people keep forgetting because we're in two different vessels or two different bodies, but we truly are one. So by working really strong in yourself and sending those vibrations out, the universe is saying, allow us to have those vibrations, the dynamic trio, which we call them, which is your words, your thoughts, and your feelings are matching. And it's sometimes that's difficult to do, my friends. So just send out a snapshot for about 20 seconds and with the good, and then get back into the moment and don't worry how that's going to take place, or allow 3D vibrations to kick in, because that's when the universe is like scratching their head, like Marla said, going, I think we got that, but it didn't stay long enough to actually become a vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
right.
So just breathe.
So the other big thing that I see happening on 999 is Mercury is really having a lot of aspects on that day. One of the most important ones is he's in an exact opposition to Chiron, and this is going to be his second opposition. Of course, when Mercury, he went forward to 29 degrees, and he met Chiron once. Now he's going backward. This is the second time meeting Chiron. And then when he goes direct, he'll meet Chiron a third time. And with him being in Virgo, opposite Chiron and Pisces, this is really doing a lot of healing work and bringing up a lot of past life information, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Chiron, who represents your soul wound, really kind of carries a lot of that energy of the painful experiences that you've been through.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that's the radio show saying, let's just take a break. Hold that thought, Marla, and we'll get back from the commercial break. Marla will kick right back in again, and we'll keep going on what's happening in September. We'll be right back.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Have you been searching for a perspective beyond the mainstream? Check it out. Join your hosts Cielito Pascual and Diana Gold Holland on Share International Radio for thought-provoking views behind the news, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio. You can also find us at shareontheairradio.org. This may be the message of hope you've been waiting for.
There is no death, only a change of worlds. Chief Seattle. Deborah Livingston is an award-winning intuitive psychic medium whose international services include mediumship, spiritual assessment, animal communication, and spiritual mentoring. She is a published author and a trained shaman. Deborah provides evidential messages from spirit and departed loved ones. Learn more at deblivemedium.com. That's DEBLIV medium.com.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio, where today my special guest is international intuitive astrologer Marla Kelly with Twinstrology. I think I just quantum leaped somewhere.
Not surprised, Carrie.
Sorry about that, Marla. So, as before we got into the commercial break, you were talking about this astrology conjunction. So, please continue on with it.
Yeah, we were talking about 999, and I was talking about Mercury and his aspects to Chiron that's doing a lot of healing, and I'm going to talk more about Mercury retrograde. But also on that day, he's going to be conjunct Pandora, and I think you're familiar with Pandora, Carrie.
Yes, I am.
And Pandora here is representing that box in your mind that allows you to start exploring ideas that you never explored before because you were too afraid. But now Mercury's in retrograde, and I feel like the time is now to be willing to open that box. Yes. And he's going to be squaring the moon at the same time, and the moon represents the subconscious. So with the Chiron, the Pandora, and the moon, you're going to want to be tapping into the subconscious mind. And then there's a few things that I feel are pointing to some awakening energy, including a yod or finger of God that's happening between Uranus and Pallas and Mercury. And both Uranus and Pallas have to do with awakening. Uranus rules Kundalini, and Pallas rules our third eye. Mm-hmm. So you could be getting some Kundalini activations on that day, or, you know, this whole month I feel there's a lot of incoming energies waking up the next wave, whichever term you use to describe the next wave.
Yes.
Wisdom will be trining Neptune as well, so really tuning in to some deeper wisdom, more things that are kind of beyond the veil and connecting to the collective unconsciousness. And then another big one, I haven't talked about this aspect very much, but I decided to talk about it today. It's been happening for a while, and that's Vesta has been conjunct Atlantis, and they've been traveling together since the springtime. And now these two are going to be opposite destined. So I feel like if you're a twin flame, this is really going to be bringing in some of that unconditional love energy, healing energy from Atlantis, mm-hmm. and really helping you to get on your mission by, you know, continuing to build the flame within you, which is Vesta.
Yes.
Your inner flame and what you're devoted to.
And
so that's what I see going on for September 9th.
Okay. And I just spoke about the vibe report and about how September is a month to remember, and we're in retrograde. Again, it's all about the re's. And I've also been talking about a lot of soul revealing, of the soul memories kicking in. And this kind of goes with what Marla's saying about the Atlantis, because these soul memories that we have going back to Atlantis, which were 5D energies, are still dormant within our souls. And with this energy, they're really starting to be revealed. So that wisdom and knowledge that you have from those past lives is going to start to come through. Mm-hmm. So I'm feeling that, again, this is a really good time to really go within and allow the soul to reveal that which you need to know right now, because as a twin, you might get soul memories released, but it doesn't mean that your beloved will have those soul memories released. So it's kind of like the soul will release the soul memories when you're ready. So you might get some beautiful soul memories and wisdom and knowledge to help you along your journey on a solo mission. But by tapping into that energy and really working with those memories, it will start to shift the energies within both of you. So your beloved or your twin might start to have a lot of revealing soul memories as well. Not necessarily the same as you, but it will start to tap in.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So.
And I think, let's talk about Mercury retrograde now, because I think Mercury retrograde is going to play a key role in that.
Yes.
And I've decided I'm kind of on a mission to take back Mercury retrograde and make it not this horrible thing that everyone's afraid of and all this doom and gloom coming around, you know.
Yeah.
Mercury goes retrograde at least 3 times a year.
Yep.
So what are you going to do? Just live your life, guys.
And again, we're in New Earth. So if you know that retrogrades are about reinventing, realigning, reorganizing, whatever it is that you're redoing in your life, see this as a good thing, because now you can tap into the soul memories and create the new. And this is a good time to kind of go into soul solitude and really work on yourself to see what comes out. Right?
Definitely.
So at the end of the retrograde, you can show the world who you are. Say, hey, guess what? Here I come. The new and approved.
It's funny because normally Mercury slows us down a little bit, but he has not slowed anything down as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I'm not getting that either.
Kind of like he's like going a million miles an hour.
Yes, I feel like my horse is now like running.
I feel like Mercury retrograde, the universe planned this so well, because we've gone through 2 eclipses. We have another eclipse coming up. The first eclipse was in August, right? But then we have 3 moons this month. We have 2 new moons and a full moon, all within the month of September. And these are all really big agents for change. And so much change is being thrown at you. To have Mercury retrograde right now is really a blessing, because it's allowing you to go within and focus on this. And it's how do I say this? Instead of just leaping off the edge of the mountain, Mercury's helping you integrate everything real quick, so you don't make a big mistake.
Yes.
And, you stay a little bit focused on the logic versus your emotions.
Yeah. I just saw, they just want to give us a good laugh. I just saw someone going to jump off a mountain, and the cloud came up and said, no, 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 and caught them. So do know that the higher self, the cosmos, the galactic families, they're all really working with us right now, my friends. And I think that's what higher self was trying to tell me to tell you guys, that don't jump off the mountain because the cloud will catch you, because you still got more work to do.
So Mercury retrograde, he went retrograde on August 30th, right before the last eclipse, and he's doesn't go direct till the 22nd of September. And in the sign of Virgo, he's helping us do a lot of healing. And the message that I channeled, the big theme for this healing for twin flames in particular, was needing to heal your heart so that you can open your heart and therefore become of service. Because if you're not living in your heart, you can't really be of service to other people.
Yes. Beautiful.
If you're always a mess, if you're feeling down, if you're struggling with the energies all the time, if you're too focused on what your twin flame is doing, for example, not being balanced, how are you going to help other people? I mean, think about it. You really can't. So needing to heal this, which is happening through Chiron, and I think aligns with what you were saying about the past life work, because Chiron's definitely going to be helping us with that past life work and tuning us into our psychic abilities more.
Yes.
I think more people are going to be able to get visions or some kind of messages through past life memories. We're also doing a lot of purification during this retrograde period, because that's something that Virgo rules as well. And it's a time to tidy up those loose ends, because when Mercury comes out of retrograde, I feel like things are really going to start shifting. Things are going fast now, but think about it. When he goes direct,
I'm getting off the horse and getting on a train.
Yeah. So I think you might want to have all your ducks in a row by then.
I think I use that scenario in the Vibe Report. Start lining up your ducks.
You probably did, Carrie.
Yeah. great healing time, my friends. It really is.
Yeah, and I feel picking up where that Mars and Saturn retrograde era picked where it left off, not picked up. Picking up where those two left off, and all about belief systems.
Yes.
And now Mercury is going through Virgo, still working on those old belief systems, like these little odds and ends that maybe didn't get covered.
Yes.
Through Mars, Saturn. We're going to be purging that stuff out.
Yes.
And clearing it up.
Yeah, that's the reality slaps and kicks from the universe. What aren't you seeing? Let us show you. So again, I'm hearing that, if you are truly ready and you've been doing a lot of work, that this time during the retrograde and all the energies of September, if you can just allow yourself to just quiet the mind and just believe that you have a connection with higher self stronger than you realize, I do believe you're going to start to see some of these reality slaps that the universe is saying. It's like the clarity, the illusion is going to finally break, and you're going to see it for truly the love that it is without the fear attached to it.
Right. And the neediness, because, this is a time with this retrograde to get more authentic and stand in your power.
Yes. 3D instant gratification, let that go, my friends. That has no meaning when it comes to the twin flame journey. And I've been saying this for a while, that time is very real in this 3D reality that we live in. However, when it comes to the twin journey, it's an illusion, the time, because you and your beloved are always in union at a soul level. It's just not on the physical level. So if you can let go of putting a time on your twin journey and just realize that it's already in play, and that right now you're working with the universe to clear the soul so that the soul memories can come in, so the two of you can actually come together, reunite or reunion, come into union. But again, it's for the biggest purpose of Gaia. There is a greater purpose here, and that's to help humanity shift through the lower vibrations into the frequency of love. So when we come back, I know Marla has a lot more to share with all of you, so we'll be right back after the commercial break. Take care.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio, IOM FM. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Eros Evolution is where sexuality and spirituality meets. Join me, clinical sexologist Martha Tara Lee, on Eros Evolution on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
When Dad needed help getting around, I became his driver. Soon enough, it was up to me to be his housekeeper and financial manager, too. When he moved in, I became his cook and even his nurse. But no matter what roles I play, I know I'm still his daughter.
We understand the roles you play. So to help, we created aarp.org/caregiving, where you can connect with experts and other caregivers. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hello and welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio, where today my special guest is international intuitive astrologer Marla Kelly from Twinstrology, and I said that right?
Yes.
And one thing I just wanted to add before I hand it back over to Marla again, because she was talking about certain psychic abilities kicking in, and this is something that I have gotten very strongly from the Vibe Report. And a big one is going to be the clairaudio and the clairvoyancy. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're doing a lot of work on our throat chakra this month, and towards the later of the month, around the eclipse time, there's going to be some DNA unlocking. So just be aware as we're going through this month that your psychic abilities will become more enhanced. And there's nothing to fear here. I know a lot of people have difficulties when their clairaudio kicks into, is that thought me, or is that something the higher self is telling? And all I have to say with this, just very quickly, is that if all of a sudden you're sitting there and poof, this thought comes into your head, or you feel like something's there and it's got a lot of information, that's higher self. If you're kind of like, oh, well, I'm kind of feeling this and maybe that's you. So I know a lot of people that are tapping into this very quickly are self-doubting what's coming. So again, when you get higher self, it just comes in. It comes out of nowhere. You're not thinking about it, nothing. So just know that's higher self trying to get your attention. So go ahead, Marla. You take over there, my dear.
It was 3:33 as you were talking about that, Carrie. So the Ascended Masters agree with you.
Woo-hoo! Yay!
I was just going to say, too, like one of the things with Mercury retrograde that I'm feeling is that we're going to be getting a lot of downloads. So
yes.
Prefer to get some rest.
Yes.
Mercury retrograde is a time to rest.
Yeah. A lot of us can't get enough sleep these days. Especially the twins. It's like, whoa, I used to sleep 6 hours. Now I'm sleeping 12.
Well, I'm the opposite. I can't sleep at all these days.
You want to send some of that energy my way, sister?
I think it's balance each other out, Carrie. That would be great.
Yeah, so I think it's because I've been hanging out in the hospital and funerals a lot the last couple of weeks, right?
Oh, yeah, and it's draining your energy.
My energy. It's like, my two favorite places to be, and I have to go there all the time. Lovely. So
I think it's trying to get you over your fear.
Yes, of being in a hospital. Yeah, there we go. I like that one, Marla. I'm going to use that one.
The last thing I want to say about Mercury retrograde is, we have to be more careful with communications. I'm totally against scaring people about Mercury retrograde, but it is true that you should double check your communications and, be careful with what you say. I wouldn't, if you have something to say to someone, you might want to write it down and then hold on to it and look at it later and make sure that it's really what you want to say. And then
respond. Respond, do not react.
Yes.
Yes.
So Mercury's going to be squaring Saturn when he gets to his station to go direct. And so I feel like that can actually complicate communications a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So really around that time, which is the 22nd, around the 22nd of September,
mm-hmm.
definitely watch your communications and your thoughts. Don't make assumptions.
Yes.
Around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about you becoming your own authority, too. So
yes. And that's interesting because that's around the same time I got the information about the throat chakra unlocking DNA. So, again, be careful and, again, respond, do not react to what you're doing, which falls into the R's of the Mercury retrograde.
Yep.
Right? It's a dedicated effort with what's going on right now on a soul level. Just remember that. I'm feeling that this is something that the twins need to understand, that the flow of energy is there, but the more you continue sharing the love, the more love is going to be able to come into you and your beloved because you're sharing your energy and your love with all of Gaia, which is truly the reason why the twins are here. We're here on a mission to share the love.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So, okay.
Actually, so when you're talking about the past life stuff,
mm-hmm.
Mercury's also going to be, when he does that square to Saturn, it's going to be that conjunct union as well. And I felt like that was really going to be connecting twin flames to their past lives because the Sabian talks about the shifting sands of time and the pyramids and the Sphinx becoming visible, which really goes back to the ancient times.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of still connected to the Atlantean energy,
mm-hmm.
And giving that wisdom.
Yes.
And don't forget that Saturn is karma, too. So.
Yeah. And the soul will allow you to remember soul memories when you're ready. And one thing the twin flames I would really like to state is that you really want to ensure that you're working on this lifetime first, that you've gone back to childhood and you've been able to release that. Because when you do, it's kind of like the door opens up and the soul will bring you back to either tell you where it's feeding from, if it's a lower vibration, or it will open up to a past life where the wisdom and knowledge will come through. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to tap into a past life with yourself and your twin. You may not. But again, there's a reason why you're going to that past life for yourself so that you can open up the soul. And when you start to tap into this, if you truly are filling it with love, you know, there could be an opportunity for your beloved to slowly start to pick up on some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is all new.
Child is your subconscious mind.
Yes.
So if your inner child is in fear, it's he or she is not going to allow you to get to those memories.
Yes.
So yeah, you do, like you mentioned, Carrie, have to do some inner child healing and, you know, that early childhood stuff.
Yes, very important. Too many people want to jump into past lives when they haven't even dealt with this lifetime yet.
Yeah. So let's maybe talk about the eclipse.
Okay. Go for it, girl.
So we had the two that I mentioned earlier, the one in Aquarius, that was in August, and then September 1st, we had a new moon eclipse in Virgo. And for people that don't know, a new moon is when the sun and the moon join up together, and a full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposite each other. New moons bring new beginnings. Full moons bring completions and endings. So the one that we just had was very much a new beginning, especially because it was conjunct the North Node. And again, for people that don't know, the nodes of destiny are points on your chart. It's an axis, and it's where the moon crosses the ecliptic of the sun. And these are very karmic. The South Node represents your past lives and the skills and karma that you're carrying from the past lives. And the North Node represents where your soul is growing in this life. So things on the North Node are pushing us towards soul growth. Things on the South Node, we have to release something from the past. So the eclipse that's coming up on the 16th is a full moon eclipse in Pisces. And the South Node is in Pisces. So this eclipse is going to be on the South Node. It's going to be a penumbral eclipse, which is not a full eclipse, but it's just as powerful as an eclipse.
Lovely. I'm a Pisces. Going to love this one, aren't I?
I think it's on your sun.
Oh, of course it is, Marla. Let's make it a little bit more challenging for Carrie. Last week it was the hospitals and the funerals. Now we're going into this Pisces moon.
Well, you know, Pisces rules hospitals and probably rules mortuaries too, because it rules things that are hidden.
Yes. Or
things that society wants to kind of shut away.
Yes. Of course.
So this full moon, again, it's going to be about service and healing. The sun is still going to be in Virgo, don't forget. So we're still dealing with the service energy. The whole axis of Virgo, Pisces, because they're opposite each other, are healing and being of service to the world. So you're going to have to balance this, I feel, your ability to service. It's not a time to be a martyr. And Pisces and Virgos can very much fall into being a martyr and feeling like they have to save everyone and do everything themselves. I think you mentioned giving and receiving, and I talked about that in my weekly reading this week as well. So that's going to be something that you'll be looking at and working with over this month.
Yes, absolutely. And it's in all areas. Again, it's what Marla was saying, making sure your energy is balanced with giving and receiving. And, you know, what is above is so below. So you want to ensure that your higher self is actually channeling the energies down into your 3D reality while you're physically here on this plane. Don't get lost into la-la land and forget that we live here in 3D world. That's a big one. I feel that a lot of people need to really remember. Again, this is a month of remembering through the soul. The soul memories are going to come in. And another thing that I got as well is just that those that don't really know what their mission is, again, please take a deep breath and realize that a lot of people don't know what their mission is yet because we're in the new. So a lot of what you are here to do isn't actually here yet. It's a new energy because the wisdom and knowledge is going to start coming through from the past lives that we've had, going back to Atlantis when we were in 5D. So just know that whatever you're doing right now, you are in mission. Don't think this, if you're helping a few friends or, just going out there and sharing love with the world, you're doing exactly what you need to do. So, again, don't get your head in a spin, my friends. I see this too often. I don't know what my mission is. Your mission is what you're doing right now. And whatever it is that you're supposed to do on a grander scale, the soul memories will kick in when they're ready. So take a deep breath, live in the moment, and remember, life is like a sunset. Embrace it.
Sometimes the soul memories are going to show you because part of your mission, I guarantee you, includes skills that you've learned in past lives.
Oh, absolutely. Add them to all the ones you've done in this lifetime, and then you start to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we all jacks of all trades? Because we have to help Gaia. There's a lot of people on Gaia and only very few twins.
Twin flames have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of years learning these skills specifically so that when they incarnated here, they could use them to help with the ascension process.
Absolutely.
So anyways, going back to the eclipse, Pisces is the subconscious mind. So we're going to be delving in deeper, I feel, and possibly, again, connecting to the collective. Pisces is where we want to transcend our physical selves, and we want to connect back with God. Lots of opportunities for awakening energies to come through with this eclipse.
Okay, so when we come back, Marla can finish off what she was just talking about, the eclipses, and then I'll do the weekly reading for what Spirit is telling those who are listening in to vibe on this week. We'll be right back.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Dr. Kevin here, and I want to invite you every Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, to join me on the Dr. Kevin Show, where we have a diversity of guests who help you step outside the box, behind the curtain, and see what a load of crap is going on in the world today, so you have more information with which to make better decisions. I'll see you there. Namaste.
Hello, I'm John Lithgow. Manatees are unique, among the most amazing animals on Earth, but they're endangered. We pose the greatest threat to their survival. Many manatees are killed or injured by boats or other recreational activities. I'm a writer of children's books, including one about manatees, and I believe education is the key. You can be part of the solution. Please contact Save the Manatee Club right now. Call 1-800-432-JOIN. Thank you.
Welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio, where today my special guest, international intuitive astrologer Marla Kelly, is with me from Twinstrology. And just before we went to break, she was just finishing up some information about the eclipses. So I'm going to let her finish that off, and then I'll do the weekly reading of what I'm picking up on.
Okay, Carrie, thank you. So the eclipses that's coming up, the eclipse in Pisces, like I mentioned, it's going to be on the South Node. So this is asking you to release something karmic. And you have Mercury retrograde helping you. You have, the Saturn and Mars, what they just went through, helping you. And then it's going to be conjunct Chiron. And Chiron is going to help you heal whatever it is that you need to heal so that you can let it go. There's also going to be quite a bit of good energy, again, coming in for twin flames. Like I mentioned earlier, Atlantis and Vesta are still going to be conjunct, and they're going to be forming a T-square with Venus and Destin, and Venus and Pallas and Amor are going to be forming a trine. Venus is going to be opposite Uranus. This one's going to be really good, I think, Venus opposite Uranus, because that's going to be asking you how you can love and partner differently and letting go of the old ways that you used to do partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
And union will be squaring the nodes of destiny. So if you're a twin flame, that might open up some choices for you to make.
Woohoo!
And I'll just say again, I think I said that that's when we talked about the Pisces eclipse in the spring, but often people kind of cross over around that time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is like Pisces is where we transcend and go back home.
Yes.
As well as it being water, and it's the final sign, and just the eclipses themselves can create that energy.
Yes. And again, like right after, you and I are both getting this great healing that's taking place too. So it's going to help if you do, and not throwing this out, but if you do lose someone you love, at least there's great healing energy there to work with, knowing that, love never dies.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And Mercury is going to be getting close to a station. So I feel like that this eclipse is really going to wrap up a lot of that old karmic garbage that twin flames have been trying to get rid of for the last, 6 months.
Yeah, at least.
Well, it's an ongoing process, but there's been a big push this year to get
absolutely.
Stuff,
absolutely.
so that we can really
move forward. Yeah, because I haven't really tapped into October. I don't want to get into it, but I do know the energy's shifting. I've gotten a little bit of information, and I do feel things are shifting dramatically for the twins. But again, use this time wisely, my friends, to really work on yourself and work on the soul, and know that you and your beloved are one. And if you're working on your soul, it's obviously it's energy. They're going to be able to feel that. It's going to help them. Right? They have to control the boys themselves. You can't crawl into their psyche, but you can help shift the vibrations. That's why it's important to focus on you and don't put the energy into your beloved too much. And that kind of goes with what Spirit is saying to me. They're just saying a lot of people right now don't have enough information, so they really haven't had that aha moment. The light hasn't come on, the clarity hasn't kicked in because the illusion's still there. But they're also saying it's because a lot of people have stopped using their spiritual tools because they've given too much energy to their beloved. And they're saying that the masculine energy right now may not be opening up because they're dealing with emotional stuff at a soul level. But just be patient and stop stressing out if you're the feminine, because the masculine is working within the soul to figure out who they truly are. So be patient. And if you don't have the tools, my friends, I know there's so many out there. I do have a lot on my website, carrieturcott.com, where if you roll over home and you'll see Vibrasize, click on there. There's a lot of exercises there to help you. The condo in my head is probably the number one exercise I would say do first, because you start to find your golden nuggets and your gems. You find the repeated patterns. You find the triggers. And then it's easier to be able to do the other exercises because you've already got the main information that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So,
exercise, Carrie?
It's something that I channeled that about 10 years ago or something, and I still use it. I can evict people on one page and evict 50 people, but it's still, a lot of people forget about their gems, and they have to go back and they have to shine them up a bit. Say, yes, I remember. Even though you're being yeah, we got some beautiful gems out of that, though. Right? And another thing that I wanted to share with people is that Marla and I work quite a lot together. And we have an actual reading that we do together called The Cosmic Journey. And this information can be found on both our websites. So Twinstrology.com or CarrieDurcott.com. And it's a very cool reading that Spirit guided us to do together, because she's able to tap into some pretty crazy stuff. And as soon as she starts to talk and her intuition kicks in, I jump into the channel that she's on, and then I start to channel. And we've come up with some pretty crazy stuff from people in past lives, like, why are their clothes why do clothes that are too tight freak you out? Well, this is why. You want to know why you don't like facial hair? This is the reason why. And again, this is kind of the stuff that comes through the soul to help you remember, because a lot of times we make a fear bigger than it truly is because it's feeding from past. So that's a cool reading that Marla and I do. And Marla and I are also doing a retreat together at the end of this month on September 29th to October 2nd. It's the Vibe Report Fall Retreat with a little bit of Twinstrology mixed in. And we're calling this Embrace the Unknown and Expect the Unexpected. And I thought that was perfect when when Spirit told me to call this like 6 months ago. And I understand now because of the energies, because we are embracing the unknown and we don't know what to expect when we get there. And I think it's going to be beautiful to have, twins all in one place working together during this great healing process at the end of the month, because I've got an energy cluster of creative life source energy that is off the charts at the end of the month. So if anyone who's listening in wants to know a little bit more about the retreat, again, you can go to CarrieDurcott.com, and the information is there about what Marla and I will be doing that weekend. I'm really looking forward to it, Marla.
I'm super excited, Carrie. I can't wait.
I think sitting on that energy vortex is going to be beautiful.
I've been wanting to go there for so long since you first started talking about it. It's true, like with these eclipses and things, honestly, we don't know what 3 weeks from now is going to hold.
Well, I think I was joking about it a couple of months ago that, with the retreat, we might be playing, laser tag at night, but the energy's coming out of our bodies or our eyes or something. Like, who knows what's going to happen when we go to the energy vortex because of the soul memories that we're going to be releasing. And this is for everyone. You need to know if you're part of the soul family and we're at the energy vortex doing this soul work for the soul family, it's going to affect you all. Okay, so, don't feel lonely because you can't come. There's a lot of people that are overseas that, it's just not coming for a few days. It's just not beneficially, monetary wise. But they're going to be coming to the one we'll probably be doing next year, where we'll probably do a 7 to 10 day, where there's a lot more time for people to come and enjoy themselves. But I think we're going to have a great time. And like you said, who knows who we're going to be when we walk out on October 2nd.
Well, when you get a group of twin flames together, the energy is really amazing, and you really help to push each other.
Yes. Yes.
So people that have not experienced being around people that are twin flames, they're in for a treat.
And you know what? I think I've only been around 3 twins at once, and I was vibing so much. I was with you and Dio. I've been with other twins, but more one-on-one, but I can't imagine when we put a whole group of us together. And again, if there's 10 of us there or 20 of us there, it doesn't matter. When you think about it, there really isn't 10. There's actually 20. So the energy is going to be off the charts. So that's why Carrie keeps this, why I'm keeping this retreat very low in numbers as well, because of the energy that we're going to be creating. And I don't want people to be wigging and not sleep for the 4 days. Marla?
Yeah, exactly.
So is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience before we call this a wrap?
Did you, well, I could talk a little bit about Jupiter and Libra if we have time, Carrie.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes, so go ahead, my dear.
Okay, so Jupiter is entering Libra, like I mentioned, on the 999 gateway. And it's funny because he's exiting Libra on 10-10-17, which is going to be 10-10-10.
Of course.
And Libra is the sign of partnerships and justice. They want to be fair. They want to be diplomatic. They want to compromise. They're an air sign, so they want to talk about things. They want to be, open to all kinds of options. And Jupiter is about our beliefs. So I think what this is going to be bringing is a look at our beliefs about relationships. And are your relationships balanced? Are they fair? Yes. The giving and receiving, okay? Are your needs being met, or are you compromising? And then areas of social justice and morality and diplomacy. You know, a lot of astrologers are touting this as like this great transit. Everything's going to be beautiful. Everything's going to be love. Everything's going to be happy. But that's not really what I'm getting, Carrie.
You and I kind of don't get the same with a lot of other people, do we?
That's why you need someone that can channel twin flame energy. Yes,
it's kind of like, I don't mean to be the burden of bad news, but this is not what you guys think it is. And that
I actually think that the end of this transit, and it's going to be, you know, a year-long transit,
yes,
will be good.
Yes.
But the thing is, Jupiter expands what it touches. So when Jupiter comes in, and if you're in a relationship that's karmic or a relationship that's not based on fairness, or you're not getting treated good, do you think Jupiter is going to support that relationship continuing, or do you think that Jupiter is going to kind of expand all the negative aspects of that relationship so that you can see the truth about what you're living?
I just saw him walking into the ring. Let's get ready to rumble. Jupiter is the big guy, isn't he?
He is. He's Zeus, Carrie.
Yes, he is Zeus. So, my friends, thank you so much. Marla, again, thank you so much for joining me this week. I really greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Carrie. I enjoyed it.
Yes, and I'm so looking forward to the retreat at the end of the month. We're going to have a blast. And everybody who's listening in, be good to yourself. And remember, go back to the spiritual tools. You and your beloved are one. You always have been one. So put the energy into yourself and watch the magic begin. Have a wonderful week, my friends, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.